Hello everyone, welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I do hope you're having a wonderful day today. We have a lot to do. I'm going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff here with a bullet point list of things I want to get done today. Actually a little organized. We'll see if I can stick to it. Obviously our train is making tracks incredibly slowly. Hi camera, want to come back over here? Oh, never mind. Oh, it finished up that. Got it. So I switched it to this side for the high priority here, and so it should be focusing on this side all the way up to the border now, because this is where the wooden track is. Even though these are wooden tracks, they're not necessary on this side to get to the border. So we're gonna get to the border, and then the EDK 300 can take over and do most of these because it's way faster. Okay. All right, I'm hoping this video answers a couple of questions. Now I record these videos pretty far in advance to public release at this point, so I don't know if the questions actually exist at this point, but I'm sure I'm going to answer a few questions today. Let's start with the build for construction materials, okay? Now, before we really get into this, we're at 0 on our money. That's obviously a problem, so let's go in and fix it, all right? We don't want to have to owe a ton of penalties or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and grab, let's say, 380. It's a good cushion there. 2, 6, 9, 5, 4, 8. There we go. Okay, so that gives me 110 cushion. We'll see. We're at 1.7 million in debt. We're not going to do this. All right. This is not necessary. Pull this all the way back. Now, this is bricks. I would love to start, by the way, getting bricks going. So we're going to just make all these things added to the list. I messed up my coal setup. Don't know how detrimental that's going to be. Hopefully we produce so much coal that it won't matter, but I messed up my coal setup because this is feeding this, but it's also feeding that storage, which means that all of this down the line, both of these are pulling from this, and this is directly responsible for providing for coal. What I should have done is put another one of these storages in front of this. That way this had its own dedicated source. At the moment, that's not what's going to happen here, and that's a real shame. I feel bad about those things, but it's the only thing. Like, that's it. You know, what am I going to do at this point? I can fix it. There's a lot of stuff to tear down to get one to fit in here, though. So, yeah. I suppose another solution to this would be to tear this down to cancel this. Put another elevator in here so that it splits the source, and then have that source feed this side. That's an option as well. But either way, these are, I'm going to be labeling these as low priority. So if they, for some reason they have nothing to do, then they'll come over here and do this. But I just don't see them having nothing to do. I'm just going to kind of, you know, do one of these numbers on these. Low priority all around on these, okay? So for bricks, what we're going to do is this. We're going to say that the open storage is where the train comes in. We're going to flip this so that the road is on that side of the track over there, okay? I'm going to have the train come in to get this brick right about here-ish, okay? Right here. So the train is going to come in from this side. So there's going to be a track that comes through here, right? Which means there's also a track that runs straight through town as well for passengers. But this track that's coming up here is going to have a connection over here. So there's another intersection that's going to take place right over here. Okay, so eventually that's what happens on this side. So we can start laying the plans for that in if I want to, but it's not as important yet. I have a lot of other things I'd rather cover. So open storage is here. Now this is obviously bricks, and bricks is a building resource, and building resources are going to be stored over here. So the train is going to bring it from here to here. But there's another way to handle this. You don't need to have all the resources over here in order to work with them effectively. Rather than having to rely on a train to bring the resources over there, which we're still going to do, we're also instead, and I think this is, I don't want to say genius, because like I'm pretty sure other people think of this all the time. I'm just going to put a construction office right here next to this. Okay? Just a little one. 6 vehicles. You know, something like maybe here. No big deal. And it's going to connect to the road like this and go across like that. And then it's going to meet up here. Now, the really cool part about this setup is that I'm going to put a bunch of open haul trucks here. That's all this will have. And it will only have a source of bricks. And that's the only thing this one doss. It grabs bricks and it takes it to construction sites. So when we're building everything, we're building out all of this stuff and anything we do back here or whatever, our bricks are sourced from a construction office that starts directly next to this. They're just going to pick it up and take it where it needs to go. Brilliant. I think that's going to work out really well. We also have, of course, other construction offices, specifically ones that are closer to future build sites, which we're going to talk about today. So we still do need the bricks brought here, but this one has a continuous source really close by, and I like that idea. So we're going to have that as well. This is going to also be considered a low priority for the time being. Okay, so that's bricks. We're just going to amend it that way. I do want to have some kind of trash incineration sort of thing happening over here, but that requires research. Let's go over to the technical university. We right now have 3 professors, 4, working on research. It's so slow. Oh, research is ridiculously slow right now. I need more smart people. I need a lot more smart people. I could take them off of research and, you know, get more professors to come into the auditorium to teach people, but like I kind of just want to spend a whole bunch of my loan money on smart people at the moment. That's kind of what I really want to do, and I just haven't been, because I would love to get more university educated people so they could be professors and teach other people. We have this one unspecified. There's 18 smart people in here. I'm gonna say that I want you to go like this, and then you're gonna spread out here, 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 and not the repair place. I guess just the bus stop. But what I'm hoping for is that these 18 people here that are right here, which is like around 10%-ish of the people, I'm hoping that these university educated people will go to the only building in this list that requires university educated people. That's what I'm hoping happens here. So I'm going to kind of do something like this, I think. Okay. There we go. Now people are not unemployed. I'm hoping we see more professors hit here. But if not, you know, this house is nearly completed, and I'll bring in some more experts and tell them to work here. I need this research to go a lot faster. I've got so many things I want to do, so we're going to pump this up just a little bit. Okay. Next thing on the list, let's talk about wood and the sawmill, because I've been buying boards as well as bricks, and obviously I had to buy steel, so that was why I was out of money. And here's what I'm thinking. We're going to need to employ the services of our the demolitions today. We're going to have to employ the services of our demo team because I'm going to actually remove this road. I'm also going to remove this road and this road and that little segment there. I'm going to get rid of these roads, all right? This is going to go away. All right. So hopefully our demo office gets on these things. I would assume that they would automatically, but just in case they don't spring to life immediately upon what I want, I will go ahead and tell them to do so, okay? There we go. And then they're going to tear this down. So how I want to play this, I've been thinking a lot about this. And I think we're probably going to need another bus stop over here at some point just to get people to work in the repair station. But at the moment, I think I just don't have the logistics for that many buses at the moment. So I'm content because we have a lot of vehicles repaired. This isn't even all the vehicles. Like, this thing is actually doing okay with the foreign workers, right? You know, we bring in foreign labor every once in a while. This is a construction bus, never mind. But there are microbuses and stuff that will come over and do this. This is how we get workers here, right? And the sewage tank is overfilled. It's, you know, bad health. They're tourists, okay? What I'd like to do is we're going to hook up the sawmill right here. And this puts it in walking range of that bus stop. They'll walk over here to work in the sawmill. We're then going to put the wood that the sawmill is going to be pulling in to convert to boards. We're going to be pulling that over here too. And I think what's going to happen is this storage will probably end up holding both wood and boards, with like the storage basically being split like maybe, I don't know, 90-10 with 90% boards, right? But the supply can be stored in here, and then the sawmill will pull it in and then kick the boards back out. And then our construction teams can go ahead and grab those. Okay, so we'll have all the boards stored really close to construction offices, and it'll be produced here by essentially cutting down all the trees that are in this area. It's not the most luscious place for wood cutting, but it's the most convenient place. So we're going to go with that. So let's let the construction crews get on that, or I should say, I guess, the deconstruction crews get on that. We got an excavator on its way to start tearing things up. It'd be really nice to actually have a second one of these, and I'm actually going to do that. Let's put a second demolitions office, and we'll stick it, I'm not sure where. I don't want to get in the way of anything, but I really don't want to get in the way of anything. I'm not really using this space at the moment, so I guess I'll put it here until we get a permanent one, which I really don't know where I want to station a permanent one. There are excavators hanging around somewhere. I know I've got some around here because I can use the tool. You're a spare cement truck at 31%. I'm not sure why you're not getting repaired, but let's put you back. Let's put you back to work at 31%. There's excavators sitting around somewhere, and I just got to figure out where they are because I was gonna. Oh, that's right. I was gonna use them for over here. That's the next thing I want to talk about is over there. But I don't have them sitting around quite as much as I wanted them to be. You're an open haul truck at 10%. I'm gonna put you back to work with these guys. Yeah, I gotta find these excavators. Let me find them. I'll be right back. Ah, here they are. They're just chilling over here by technical services. Cool. Now, we don't actually have sewage assigned yet, so I want to go in and make that happen because this building is done. And with sewage actually being assigned, we don't have a sewage truck in here, and so we need that too. So I'm going to go over and we're going to grab a big sewage truck. They can do 9.5. That's fine, just to have it, you know, working for us. And then also, I suppose we should probably have a water cistern too. So we'll have 2 of those big trucks added to the technical services office because they can do stuff with this. And so they can bring things around. They can handle any sewage and any water needs that we have, that maybe any gaps that I'm missing. Okay. But this excavator is in here. And so I'm going to actually reassign you and put you over in this demolitions office that I just made. Okay. In this office as well, I think I'd like a garbage truck, at least one. But I've been using 2. I think that's probably okay. I don't think there's enough jobs really to need that. So I'm going to go with just a single waste truck, I guess, for now. And we'll buy one of those. And then the last thing I need in here, I suppose, is a bus for the workers, right? Just give me a microbus or something. I'm not sure it's necessary, but we'll do like... Yeah, I don't even know which... This little tiny one here is probably fine. It's $1,000. Like, let's just get this cheap one here. And then we want the mixed waste to be dumped over here. Now, while we're here... This one is half full now. So I'm thinking this one's going to shift to a higher priority at the moment. And we're going to make sure that that's on the list at a higher priority because we need the second dump to be completely done before the first one fills up. Okay. The second thing we want from this office, we need to tell it to where the hazardous waste goes. It goes to the border. Yep, it goes. Send it to the border. Okay. And then the construction waste goes over here. Good. Explosives can be gathered from this little warehouse way out here, and then the workers are taken from the bus stop. All right, good. And then this demolitions office will allow you to just simply go ahead and auto search. All right, so we're tearing down the roads. Haven't seen much of this yet, have we? No, we haven't. Let's speed up time really quick here. So excavator just tears up the road, and then workers get delivered as well to work on the sites. I don't know if they... I don't even know if they're needed. I don't think they are. I mean, this is happening without workers, so I don't think the mini buses are necessary. I'll probably repurpose them. I think I'll probably repurpose them. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it does speed up something. Or, you know, it just allows us to work on a site without this being on the site. But I don't know why I would ever want to do that. Either way, we're breaking down the roads. So there you go. And then the waste trucks need to come in. Once that's broken up, the waste trucks will have to come in and have to gather the 10 tons of construction that's right here, right? So here is a waste truck bringing the construction waste, and then it will bring that construction waste over to this aggregate storage over here, which already has a little bit of construction waste in it. And it can hold up to 870 tons. And then when this thing starts to see, you know, maybe it's getting like 70, 80% full over here, we'll then go ahead and accelerate the construction of this building so that we can have all this waste be recycled into gravel and dumped over here. Fantastic. So the demolition update does make things more complicated, but there's two things in this update that I really like about the game that actually makes the game, at least realistic mode, it makes it easier in a lot of ways. So the first thing is that you get resources back rather than just losing the road, right? We get the waste, which we can reprocess into new material, which is fantastic. It introduces recycling. We never had that before. Normally, you just break down a building and that's it. All the resources you spent on it are toast, but now you get it back. The second thing it does is I was dinking around with my power poles over here earlier, kind of offline, just dinking around like different plans of what I want to do in this area. And I accidentally did this. Now, holy crap, pause the game. Oh no, I disconnected my, oh, what happened? Oh no, I disconnected my power poles. Now this thing's not gonna have any power, right? Well, it turns out because demolition requires people to actually get to the site to tear it down, you can just, you know, cancel the demolition. And then if you just cancel it, you're back to normal operation. So misclicks are way nicer to you now with demolition turned on. So I really like that too. I haven't seen a road torn down yet, and this is interesting. It's reverted it to a dirt road, which actually makes complete sense because unlike building a road, where the machines that are there now have a road to travel on. In this instance, we're taking a road away, and machines don't travel without roads. So they would have to leave a road behind in order to leave the site. So that actually makes a lot of sense, that it just gets reverted. Pretty cool. Definitely. Yeah, I like it. Then we pull the waste into the trucks, and off it goes. So I think having 2 garbage trucks for each of these demolition offices is probably a really good idea. So when we get going on it, we'll probably do that. I might even replace these microbuses with waste trucks. I'm thinking maybe like two waste trucks and 2 excavators each. Might be a good balance. I don't know. But this is where the sawmill stuff's going to go. So what I'm looking at here, if I slow down time again, probably shouldn't have done that at nighttime. But hey, I altered the file. It's not that dark anymore, huh? What do you think? Are you guys watching any other YouTubers play this game? If so, you should tell them about, you know, altering the night and making it brighter for you. Because this, I bet you this is way better for you on YouTube, at least at the end of watching it on YouTube. I bet this is way better for you than like the pitch black darkness that comes with night mode usually. I think most YouTubers will just try to do whatever they can to skip night mode. And with these changes, you don't really have to skip it. It's okay. So with the sawmill, what I'd like to do is I'm going to set up the road to kind of be right here. This is the wood cutting post, not the sawmill, but you'll see. You kind of need these things to be together if you really want to be efficient with this. So I'm going to go about like that. Then what we need is a little storage. This is going to get really tight, so bear with me here. Might take a couple of tries to get this. We're going to delete these roads, okay? So get rid of all this for now. We're going to want to have, and again, bear with me here because, like I said, this is going to get really tight and it's going to be hard to do this. I want open storage. I really wish there was a slightly smaller open storage. I don't think I can get both of these in where I want them. I don't think I can. I'd have to move this road to do this, and I don't think I can. But one thing I think I can do, I believe anyway, is can't I connect this directly to the sawmill and have the sawmill just have its own internal storage on this whole thing, right? Because the sawmill has 60 tons of wood as an import. So I think I can actually just do this. I want to say that's completely possible. Right? Let's flip this over and do it like this instead. I think that's good to go. Because it... Yeah. I think so. I just need to get it out of the way of the road connection on the storage. So right about... Oh, get that stupid red dot on that corner out of there. There. I think right about here would work. Okay. And then we just have 60 tons of wood, you know, put in there. And then I can get this to be like that. And then let's make this... I mean, while we're at it, we might as well just make this an asphalt road. We're going to have all this stuff be asphalt eventually anyway, I think. So if I'm remaking this road, I might as well do it asphalt. Yeah, okay. So let's have all of this be constructions that need to be done as well. Okay. So we'll get that going. So that gives me the wood cutting post, which is going to go out, cut down trees, going to bring it back into here, gets automatically sent with this one-way factory connection in that direction. Okay. The wood is going to go that way. It gets imported up to 60 tons, can be held inside the sawmill, and then they will process all that wood into boards, which will get kicked out into this storage. Which means this storage, which is now empty, is going to get shifted into holding prefab panels instead. So we're actually going to go about like this with this right now. And then I'll allow boards for now to be delivered here, but prefabs are what is actually going to be here over time. All right. So that takes care of our sawmill and wood placement. All these things will get workers from this bus stop, as they should be able to reach it just fine. Yeah, very easy to reach that. Okay, that takes care of that. Next, I want to cancel this clinic right here. This clinic is going to go. We're not going to do this clinic here. All right. So the clinic, the intent for this is to allow these guys to have access to healthcare. But I think there's a better way to go about this than to create a small clinic. Because I want to build over here too, and I'm going to actually expand housing by another row. I don't know if it's too close. I think it's about 400 meters away. Okay, so from the food factory, and then it's even further away from where we're going to be processing oil. So oil refinery and stuff's going to go in this spot. Right underneath where this is. So assuming it's like right here, that gives me, you know, 745 meters. So it's a lot of distance. I don't know if it's going to be detrimental to people's health, but here's what I'd like to do with it. We're going to go into residential areas. I need more people, a lot more people, especially if I want research to go faster. So I'm going to say that this goes right here. And this is where I was misclicking the power, in case you're wondering. Here. And then I'm going to spread that out a little bit and go like... I'm not going to use the grid. It's a waste of time. I'm going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. You see how dense I can make this? Density is your friend. I think. At least in this game, I think it is. All right. So we're going to make a whole new row of housing over on this side. Then over here, we're not going to use this yet, but over here, we're going to have our courthouse. This is a full-on courthouse, a big boy courthouse, okay? But it's going to be on this side of the tracks. So it's going to be kind of right over about here-ish. I think this is probably about here, yeah. So let's put it like that. Now we've got train tracks through here, as you can see. And train tracks are going to be headed straight through here, all right? I was very tempted to do this. I was very tempted to take and make a train station right over here. Okay. Right. Train platform right here. Okay. I was very tempted to do this. And then this would be out more. Okay, so like it would be, train station would be like right here. But I really don't want to have that thing that everybody was talking about, right? Where you don't want to have the rail station. You have to go through another station in order to get by. You know, I get it, right? You need alternative tracks to go through this. And the compromise to that was going to be just slamming this right up against this, but that's going to lead to like a really tight intersection, and I didn't want that. The other solution that I thought was to have the train station be here. And this is kind of where I'm more leaning. I kind of want a train station to be right here, because this, I think, fits really well, pending I can get this to level out. We could put a train station right here like this, and so many people will be able to access this train station. And this train station can then come out. We'll have an intersection right here, and then this train station can go out and do wherever we're gonna go, okay? The only thing that doesn't work for this train station here, I didn't mean to click, but since I did it, I'm just gonna keep talking, but the only thing that doesn't work for this train station here is that the train can't go through. It's only gonna stop, it has a stop here. So instead of the train track being here, I think I'm gonna put a passenger station over here instead. And it's going to have to be in a flat area. It's kind of on an angle right about here. And so I obviously need to flatten this. We're going to end up actually making this to be more of a mountain when we're done, instead of actually using it as a high ground, which I kind of wanted to use it as, you know, like up on the hill. I live up on the hill kind of thing. But it just doesn't look like it's going to work, because every time I want to put something down, it just seems like the hill is in the way. So I am going to, I'll probably do this more off camera, because leveling terrain, not only is it not the most pleasant sound, but it's really not, you know, the most interesting content to endure either, right? Let's just watch lines move, okay? It's not the most interesting thing I can show you. So I am looking at possibilities of getting a train station in here as a recap. And that train station will be on this level. I still want to have a way to get up here and then back down. So I still want to have people be able to get up here, and I want to have like you know, restaurants and tourist type stuff up on top of this hill, because it's on the high ground. You want people to be up high so that they can have a nice view, right? They can have hopefully a really cool view of the city from up here, and all these industries and everything, and the water. And so you want that to be a thing, and I think this hill is a really cool way of doing that. All right, now there's other hills as well. There's I think there's a hill right here, right? Not quite as high. There's this really cool one here, which I totally plan to use for tourism stuff if I can get away with it. I don't know if I can get away with it because my industry is going to be over there. But anyway, like if I was going to do tourism, or if I was going to get any type of, you know, really good ratings from restaurants, or, you know, viewpoints or whatever, it's going to be on top of this mountain here, at the top of this hill. So I don't want to remove it entirely, but I do keep kind of chunking away at it, so it may end up getting removed entirely. We'll see. Either way, assuming that happens, this train station will eventually go like this. It's going to curve a little bit this direction. If I can do it straight, though, that would be nice. It's just there's that power pole in the way. And, you know, I can adjust. Like we can say the power pole is not in the way, right? We could say that. How about the power pole is not in the way? How about it just kind of curves a little bit around this station, and then from this point you go out and then you go around like this. I'm trying to get around the hill as well, so I need to kind of get it to curve out that way a bit. Okay. So let's say it goes about like this. Then I can play around with the intersection once I know where that train station is going to be. So for now, we're just going to lay that in, even though I have no intention of building it right now. This is not allowed to be constructed. Neither is this. And as long as we don't allow construction of this, then the trains won't do it. Okay. That's how that works. Let's just get rid of that. And all these different little points, we don't need them. There we go. And then just double checking. Yeah, on and on. Okay. So that's how I'm laying this out. All right. Now, we're not going to build this courthouse yet. All right. The courthouse has a connection, and I'll totally have it connected, but we're not going to build it yet. We need a police station, obviously, to handle crime in the city. All right. That's something we're going to have. I'm going to build a large police station. I should build a small one because we don't have very many people. But what's going to happen is I'll just have to tear that one down and replace it, or just add to the large one. I'd rather just get to the point. And if I do it close enough, I don't even have to get this close, actually. I can do it a little further away like this. Maybe even like right up against the road would be kind of cool. But nah, it's fine. We're going to put it like about here. And that's in range of everything, which is nice. It's also in range of these two trash areas, which is nice. What isn't nice is that the garbage trucks haven't come here and get this hazardous waste yet, which is a little bit concerning. But at the same time, there's a lot of extra stuff right here, so it's no big deal. So these guys are going to be here. Now, the reason why I took away the clinic, I want to get back to this, is that we're going to instead have a bus stop instead. And it's going to be kind of over in this area or this area. I think probably right here should work better. We're going to have a bus stop here instead. And I could do like a little platform, but I personally, I hate this platform, right? I despise this platform. I've had such traumatic experiences with this platform. It's just a stupid design, and I just don't care for it. There are new ones in the game, though, and we've been seeing what those new ones look like. And I actually really like this one. It's a one-way street, right? It comes in this way, and it leaves the other way. And I dig that. I totally dig that. I think that's great. And so that's what we're going to do with this bus stop. I'm going to have this bus stop be right about here. And it's just off that road, right? And so we're going to go right about here with it. I think it's pretty good. All right. Now, I'm going to delete this little road because before I actually start building this, I want to start paving roads, right? I want to start getting asphalt roads in a lot of places, all right? And we'll start with ones that aren't really being used all that often, just so we have progress on them. So I'll go with that one. I'm also, you see, you got asphalt road here, which is nice, but this is all dirt, and I'm still seeing vehicles use this, so clearly it's an important road that we need. So I'm going to actually have one side of this all become asphalt. So I'm just going to say that we pull all these back, since we're not really building these things yet anyway. And we're going to say that this whole road, just make sure it's connected, make sure it has no additional waypoints, looks good, and make it asphalt. So this whole thing is going to become asphalt as well. And you know what? Let's just do it up to that point. I think that's fine. So now we should see, this construction isn't, well, that's a problem. They need to do this construction right away. This cross part here, I didn't realize that wasn't completed. So they were coming through here, and then they were leaving that direction, and now they can't do that. I've locked them out of that. They can still come over here, though. I've made my road network, and I think you guys can see what I've done, right? I've made this road network with a ton of redundancy. I can shut down a road, and there are at least 2 alternative paths that vehicles can take, and it doesn't take them that much time to get through those alternative paths. It's not that bad, so I'm digging it. Anyway, let's come back over to here. Police station. This is going to get built. When this gets built, though, there's no point in having it to stop crime unless you have a courthouse. And I'm not going to build that large courthouse yet because it's overkill. The police station is big because they need to actually respond to crimes, which means they need to get to locations. So I want a lot of cars. It's also centrally located to where the city's going to be, because most of the city's going to end up being over here. Okay, most of the people will be living over here. So it's it's in a good spot for later. And with a lot of cars. The courthouse, however, receives all of their cases by carrier pigeon. Okay? Like, they don't have to travel to get their cases. They just appear. And so it doesn't matter where this thing is located as long as there's people there. And I figured, since it doesn't matter where it's located, I might as well locate it closer to the pollution. So that's what I'm going to do. Since I can't use this space for anything else, I'm going to locate it closer to the pollution. Okay? But we still need a temporary one. We need a small one that's going to at least try the cases we're doing now. And so for that, I'm going to put in the small courthouse, and I'm going to fit it right here, this little tiny area right here. And I think probably what I'll do is to help me in help me in flattening the land, right? Because we've seen how quickly you can flatten the land if you just use a building to do it. It happens a lot faster because you can do these cliff sides like I'm doing. Like there's like an actual cliff as opposed to, you know, flattening all of it. There we go. There we go. Just kind of really dig in there. I hate how there's no sound to it, though. I mean, I know I just got done saying that the sound for, like, you know, terrain and stuff, alterations is kind of annoying, but I mean, I want something. My immersion, man. What happened to my immersion? All right, and then I think over here what I'll do is I'll just, I need to raise this up a little bit on this side. So I need it to be near the road. Just so, like, we'll do this. Now, obviously, this is a bit of a problem. It's very steep. I'm not going to be able to get my walking paths down there. But I think you can see that even without the walking path going that way, a lot of houses can actually reach this. So I think this will end up being okay. So I'm just going to place this temporary building, all right, right here. And I'm even going to just give it a dirt road because it doesn't need anything fancy. Eventually, it will be torn down. Ooh, can you not? There you go. Eventually, it's going to be torn down anyway. We're not going to use it. So that's that temporary building. And then we'll go ahead and hook that up to this walking path over here, which should get it a lot closer to where people can walk to it. So we have plenty of houses that can go and actually work here. Okay. So police, courthouse, that's our crime system, right? Well, what's the point of putting them on trial if you can't put them in prison? Introducing the plans for the new city that's going to happen over here. Not only is this going to be where the prison workers are going to be working from, but this is also going to be a new industry for us later on once my research is done. I'm making a scrapping city. A city that's main income source and main purpose is all about scrapping things. Yes. And somewhere over here is where my prison is going to be. But I have to kind of get a feel for where everything's going to be before I can do that. Now, the interesting part about this is that we now have this sort of slanting railway that's going through here, curving around here. And so I'm going to have to shape my scrapping city around this curve, as well as accommodate additional tracks and additional activity on tracks while we do this. So I don't necessarily need this junction to be here anymore because, well, quite honestly, we probably need extra tracks. But I don't exactly know where those extra tracks are going to be needed. So for the time being, I think we're just going to chill on the train tracks, get it built, and then we'll figure out where we want to go from there. All right. This really long line is really annoying. The devs have got to do something about this. The fact that only one vehicle can move in this space at one time is the only reason this doesn't work. Only one vehicle can do this, can be moving at a time. Gross. It's just gross, all right? What did I want to cover? So Scrapper City, right? The prison workers are going to work in the coal mine. Yes, put them to work in the coal mine. And so we're going to need a prison. Now, we can do a very small prison, all right? And that's a little temporary prison. And I probably should set that up just so that I have, a proper crime system completed. I probably should do that. And it looks like I might be able to get away with placing it in here because it's a temporary one. I kind of don't care, right? So I probably should look to just have this wherever it will build. So maybe we will do that. Maybe we will put this right over here, maybe on this side. And all the smart people that are going to live in here can also work in the prison. Maybe that's something we'll do. And by maybe, I mean that is something that we'll do. So let's flip this so that the road is on the other side. There we go. And we'll go ahead and just have it be like so. All right, so we'll have a small prison here as a way to, just kind of prepare us for what's to come. All right. And actually, let's not do the walking path just yet. We're just going to do the dirt road for now because I want to upgrade this road too. So I believe we have a good amount of storage for stuff. We've been doing really well on making food now. We've got a good amount of clothes. We've even got some electronics. I probably should stop them from delivering electronics, but I just can't help myself. it's the only thing keeping them happy, probably. So we're going to go over and cancel these roads really quick, just to make this project a little faster. I have enough fuel here too, I think, probably. I'd like to make this project a little faster. So I can't do anything about this one because I'd have to like tear it down and rebuild it, and I don't want to do that. But the dirt ones are totally acceptable. Now I can take this whole segment and make this asphalt. Okay. Now, obviously, this means I can't deliver anything to this area. I can deliver directly to the store. So if it starts to get low and it starts to look bad, I can still do that. But the forklifts have adequate fuel for a long time. These guys have a supply. This has a supply. Everything's going to be fine. So as long as people are working in here, we're good. We have a lot of crime in the city. Crime is negatively hitting my happiness by 6.2% right now. Okay, so working on that. The bus stop, it's going to be right here. These guys will be able to reach that via walking paths. Okay, and eventually via the road itself too. But when they get here, they'll have to ride the bus to here, and that's how they'll get to the hospital, because they're going to be riding the bus to get there. Of course, we also have our ambulances, which are clearly a thing as well. Let's start getting some of our... wow, these aren't even built? Crazy. Let's get those done. Let's go start getting some of our loyalty stuff done too. Loyalty directly affects... Oh, right. Loyalty directly affects how effective they are at their jobs. Okay, so you need to have the loyalty higher, and if you do that, each worker will be able to actually produce more stuff. And so I'll be more effective. Now, that's why using foreign workers from the border is not the most effective, because they aren't very loyal. I mean, they don't even live here. So they're not going to produce nearly as much as our workers would working in the same building. But because they're so close, and because it's kind of like turn it on and let it go, you know, I've just been kind of letting it go. How many vehicles are on this route, though? This is a construction office. So this is a route here. You have 2 vehicles. We're not even spacing them out appropriately. I feel like I want another one of these ZIL 158s. Is there a used one in here anywhere? Oh, there is. It's 36% though, but I think that's fine. We'll take it. We'll take it. Let's go ahead and say that this 138. Do I have an extra road depot I can lay down? Free one? No. You know what? Okay, can you work here? No? You can't work there? Why not? All right. Any of you guys need repairs? 37, 3, 49. You drew the short straw, didn't you? You're going to this gas station. Where are you? You're so close. You're so close to where you're going to end up being afterwards. Yes, that's exactly. This is very good. You're here. Perfect. Now I want you to go over here to get repaired. Yeah, you're going to sit over here and wait to be fixed. That's what you're going to do, okay? Okay, doing that means there's a spot open. Uh-huh. You don't even need to try out for the team. You just get assigned. Isn't it great? All right, I want this to go away. Goodbye. And we'll get rid of that. Okay, we're going to move that road depot over here, because I'm going to probably be buying vehicles over here more than I am over there now. So let's say that the road depot is now located conveniently right across from the fuel station, which has lots of fuel in it. Very good, right? So let's find that ZIL 158. There we go. Tell it to go here. All right, good. So now what we want to do is we're going to find that bus. The little one here. Is that you? Yes. We're going to copy your route to this bus. Okay. And then we're going to space you guys out, all 3 of you. Okay. And now you're just going to go pick up workers. There's 31 workers. And you guys can space yourselves out. I think that's a pretty good idea, because right now you're all just bunching together and I don't like it. Okay. Now this little minibus couldn't do anything, right? Oh, it could. It has 6 workers. Oh, cool. Never mind. So these guys are now going to be able to be more effective, because they'll be able to bring people here more consistently. We'll be able to generate coal ore more consistently, which means we can process it more consistently, which means we can keep this thing filled up. Oh, I like it. It's happening. my money's still dropping like crazy. And that's only because, again, I'm importing resources. I'm importing building stuff. I have to. If I want to build stuff, if I want to get through here, I have to. I'm not importing steel anymore, but I am importing boards and bricks and prefab panels because I need to build. I need to build all that stuff, and so that's just costing me money. So if I can invest in, things like this brick maker over here, which is currently getting stuff delivered for it to build it, right? If I can invest in this and get the coal situation under control, then I don't have to buy bricks anymore. I could maybe even export bricks. Same thing with, gravel. We don't have to buy it anymore. Same thing with the boards, right? We're going to start working on those. These things, of course, have a lot of time left for the work to be done, of course, so lots of things to be doing there. And then we'll, proceed to cut down all the trees, deforest the land, okay? So that's the plan, all right? We got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of time that's going by here. We're trying to build all these things, trying to make people happy. We're trying to expand into having more people over here. That's all I really have for you today. Honestly, that's the game. And I would like to. I know that there's people who don't want me to skip anything, but I would like to. I would like to just sit here and let them build the things I've already told them to build. And to make sure that they work, to get extra people, and to get the research going. So I'm going to let this run for maybe a couple months in game. I don't know. And maybe I'll make the end of this video the what happens next part of it. Because I want to start talking about Scrap City, right? But I also want to, make sure that I have the separators that I can place while I'm planning it. Right, I need the power plant incinerators. I would really like to get that going. I actually don't want a heating plant over here. I'd like it to be an incinerator. That's the heat over here. I don't know how that would work because I'm going to need like a lot of people before I can make that happen. But I think that's an interesting idea to burn the garbage in the scrapping area. We can bring all like the biological waste, and we can bring it over here and incinerate it and generate heat for this place. I don't know how well that works. Like I said, I don't think it's maybe it's not the most viable plan in the world, but it's something I'm just kind of like thinking about. 299, right? So we're gonna have a little bit more money to buy a little bit more stuff, and you know what? I probably should just let it buy steel because we need it for construction anyway. So let them buy steel. I'm gonna let this run a little longer. Our debt just keeps piling up. Nothing I can do about it, and I'll be right back. I have to admit, guys, I am genuinely concerned about the money situation. Genuinely concerned. I still think we have a pretty good chance of getting out of it. But that's only because, like, I'm pretty confident in the economics of it in the long term. I'm investing in the long term, and if we can just get through the short term, then we're good, right? That's pretty much it. We're laying the asphalt down on this road. This one's almost done. Looking pretty good. And we did complete our research. And so I've started edification. Waste separation edification has been started. What this does is it allows my citizens to sort their waste. So you might see that we've got things like the garbage stands and stuff, right? And I have selected for 4 dedicated bio bins, biological waste bins. But they're never going to use them like they're supposed to be because these guys don't sort their own waste. So what I would need for them to do is to sort their own waste because it's going to make it easier for me later to process the scrap. It's going to make it much easier for me later when it comes time to implement the incinerators and, the incinerators for power especially. So that's the next thing I'm going to do in the research tree is once edification is done, right here, once edification is done, then I'm going to go down and have energy from waste. Now, you might think that you don't need this before this, and you'd technically be right. And you could argue that that's the best kind of right. But having this will make this way easier to manage. And I would like to start collecting the waste separated before we start building this, basically, before we start building the incinerators. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. I can collect this all day separated, and then when it comes time to use the incinerator, we're ready to go and right there, which is what I'm kind of looking for here. Looks like we're handling this road now pretty good. So every once in a while, we're getting going on asphalt roads. Seems pretty good. You are so very close to having that done. You just kind of left it go, didn't you? Okay, so the next thing to really look at here, and we got some progress happening on police station. A little bit of, they were over here earlier. Yeah, 29% on the. I made a boo-boo here, and I went like that, so I have to keep selecting it. We got this house done, and now people can start to move into it organically, since the other houses are kind of full. When people become of age and they need a place to live, they will come, and they will move, right? They will move to another open vacant house. But it would be super nice to have more immigrants that were experts. I'm just saying, it would be really, 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 really nice to have them. Okay, so you know, if you guys could kindly go work in the university, that'd be sweet. I have no idea if they will, but I'd really like them to. We are gonna have to take another loan. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And so I'm gonna say I want another 550. All right, so let's roll this other one right here. 495 or 497. Return the money. 55K should hold us over for a little bit. Okay, and then you have to remember this also. If you're not, you know, necessarily up to date with the game, I get it. It's a complicated game. There's inflation in the game. All right. Every year, the value of money goes down. So it takes more money to do everything. That's why everything gets more expensive later in the game. That's why I'm spending so much money right now, even borrowing millions to buy steel, to buy brick, to set up the basic infrastructures of everything. I'm willing to go into debt today because I know that that money is worth more today, and those materials are going to cost me less because that money is worth more today. So I'm willing to spend it today. So I've got coal power plant completely done. The entire coal loop is done. And yeah, okay, so we've got 2,200 citizens and we're in massive debt. But we're about to get to the point where we don't have to pay for bricks anymore. We don't have to pay for gravel. That's something you should always do. We are getting closer to the point now, that just popped in, to where we don't have to pay for boards anymore. Which means the only construction resource we'll have to pay for is steel and prefab panels. Now steel, that's where I am investing so heavily in scrap and trying to get them to sort things and trying to get the waste management stuff aside, because I think it's easier. It's going to be easier for me to get steel from trash and scrap and the whole scrapping mechanic. I think it's going to be easier for me to get steel that way than it is to get it in a steel mill, because the steel mill cannot be optimally placed to me right now. It's fairly well out of reach. The resources that I need are too far away from town to make this viable. And I need to expand before I can afford that. I need trains before I can afford that. I can get steel mill going way over here, but I'm going to have to do it after a lot of other stuff. So I need supplemental ways of making steel. That's my opinion. And so that's why I'm investing in scrap and waste and stuff in this research tree, because what we're going to end up having over there with my scrap city is essentially a situation where we take vehicles, used vehicles that are in crappy condition. It could be trains, it could be planes, it could be helicopters. Hey, why don't I buy a foreign helicopter with my cash, right? Why don't I do one of those, buy a foreign helicopter, bring it over and scrap the damn thing? That's one way to get actual value out of my US dollars, right? So there are ways to do this that are going to allow me to get steel and mechanical components and electrical components and all these things that I can't make myself. I can get them from the vehicles that I scrap, and that's what I'm planning to do over here. So let's just talk about really quick, and then we'll end this video on kind of where this is going to be. The prison's location entirely depends on what I can do for getting this road to come down the mountain, and I'm probably going to have to, you know, come this way. I think I'm gonna have to zigzag, but the problem is this thing is saying that the infrastructure is in the way, which is I don't want it to come from that side. I want it to be a little closer. Let's hit F4 here. There we go. I want to go about like this instead. I'm going to flatten this road. Trying my best not to get in the way of any potential cable cars over that way, right? Because we know we're going to be doing the cable cars too. Too steep. All right, let's pick this up a little bit. I want to see if it doesn't matter how steep it is. I just want to get down the mountain. So if you're going to let me do this, then I'll take it, I guess. And I'll have to adjust later. There we go. How about that one? And then too steep still. Okay, so I can work from that though. We'll do this offline. I can work from that. That's a good starting point to get that kind of down the mountain. So we'll have the prison is going to be somewhere in this area. Okay, so let's just call it and say the prison is going to be, you know, maybe over in this area or this area. Okay, if that's the case, then my city is going to start getting developed over in this area, and we want the train, which is coming off of this, we want the train to be able to come on in here. Okay, and what we have is this third track right here. All right, so you have these two tracks, and then you got this third one, and this is a one-way track. This third one here, you come in, you only go one way here, so it's not going to interfere with this intersection, because once you clear the intersection, then you can hit this. You pass through this station, and you come on over in this side. Now you're on this track, which you then can get over into here. However, we can also deviate this and bring it out and branch it out into our scrap area too. So the scrap area, and ultimately trying to like sort waste and everything, I'm kind of thinking like I want my waste stored over here. That research has unlocked this general separation. And we got lots of different aggregate outs. We've got factory connections on this thing. We could do 2 of them. And it doesn't take that many workers. I mean, it's 15 of... Oh, sorry. Nope. Sorry. Never mind. It's 50 workers. I thought it was higher than 15. It's 50 workers to work this at full capacity. And, it scraps things at pretty high efficiencies and stuff, right? So you need a lot of storages for this, because you need a storage for each type of scrap. And then you need to be able to pick up that scrap and transport it to where it's going to be, recycled. We can't recycle yet because we need scrap separation. That's what we're going to get is mixed waste. Now we're going to get 98% of the metal scrap. So like there's other better buildings than just the general separator. There's also the scrap separator, and that's the one I'm really looking for, is this one. But then we can also get aluminum separation later too, right? Once we have recycling unlocked, we can then take that metal scrap that we pull out for 97% efficiency, and we can then pump it into the steel recycling plant, where it takes 36 tons of metal scrap and turns it into 19 tons of steel. And pretty much everything that we break down from the border, vehicle-wise, is going to give us a ton of metal scrap. So that tons of metal, all those metal scrap we're going to get is then going to get transformed into steel. Okay? That's this city over here, and it's going to happen somewhere over here. I don't exactly know where. I kind of want to play around with this design, so why don't I give you guys an end of the video time lapse of me just dinking around trying to figure it out, and a lot of redos that might come with that. Okay? I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so I've got the basics, all right, in here for this little town we're gonna have. We've got a whole bunch of those houses, right? We're gonna have like a whole big population here, pretty much the same size population as that does already. We got the basics of what they need. They got a little supermarket here with the forklifts and the different, warehouses and things that they need to get all that stuff taken care of. We got a bus platform here, which is going to take them over into this area to work on the scrap and everything. Okay. Then we've got a couple of these different things, like a clinic to help them with health, fire station for fire coverage, police station for small just to help enforce. We're going to have, of course, the prison over here, and then these guys can also work in the prison over here too. The prison buses that we're going to have will send prisoners up to the coal mines, and we'll have more consistent coal coming out of there as we do. This is just a highway, so I don't intend to make a whole lot of entry points into here. I will say, however, that we will need something over here to initiate, cars and stuff coming in to be worked with scrap. And if I take a look at my waste thing here, the general separator really doesn't make a whole lot of pollution. All right. And neither does the scrap separator here. This is really small pollution stuff here, so I'm not really worried about that. The steel recycling plant's a little bit heavier, so we have a logistical challenge here in that I have a couple of buildings that don't pollute a lot, and then I have some that pollute a little bit more, but they need to use the resources that the other ones are doing. So the scrap separator needs to take and separate that scrap, and then it sends it to the recycling plant. I'm going to work on that a little bit offline just to kind of figure out what I want to do, and then I'll bring you back in and actually do it. So I haven't actually thought about exactly how that stuff's going to get laid out yet, because I don't have access to the buildings. I need to see what they look like. I need to see how big they are, what connections do they have, etc. Scrap separation and the steel recycling plant. Both of these things, and a lot of other recycling stuff too, needs to be figured out, and that's what this whole area is for. I've left this area for scrap separation and made my first city over here specifically with the idea that I'm going to be importing a lot of used vehicles that are cheap and very damaged, and we're going to be transitioning them into usable materials, and I simply can't do that with enough spacing and efficient spacing until I have that research. And so I couldn't have the town here. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, I sometimes have things in my head that I don't exactly explain to you guys. And most of the time that's because I don't know specifically how those things are spaced out myself. So there's a little bit of that going on too. We have this logger here, and I think just one of these loggers is enough to do the job. So we're going to go ahead and grab one of these loggers because they do a really high capacity for speeds and everything there too. That is going to be responsible for cutting down all of these trees. And I believe the felled trees ready to transport, 602 tons. There's already 602 tons of trees that are felled and just ready to bring in. We don't need workers for that either. So I'm going to say that I want like one worker in here. I don't even think we need that many, but I'm going to have one worker in this building and that's it. Building's on fire. Rail construction office is on fire. Oh my God. The rail construction office is actually a really important building, so if we could kindly not let that burn down, I would really appreciate it. We have 4 fire trucks on the way. How close are they, though? There we go. There's a couple coming here. They're using the asphalt roads. I am loving those asphalt roads. A little bit of dirt here. I need to fix that. Let's make sure we get the active firefighters, though. The active firefighters, though. Quick. Everybody work in the fire department. Go. Everybody, you all work in the fire department now. Every single one of you are a firefighter. There. No. What the hell is this progress? What is this? What is that? Now it's raining. What the hell was that? The progress of the fire was like accelerated by firefighters? Holy shit. 97%. Are you kidding me? Everybody works in the fire department. You all are firefighters today. We even have the other fire department is over here too. There's 8 people in this one. That one's joined in too. Everyone, it's a collective joint effort. We're gonna have this on the big news channel, on our non-existent televisions. We'll be broadcasting the story on our non-existent radios. Let the world know that we came together as one republic. We came together as a team, as one people, to save the rail construction office. Oh my God, so dramatic. So dramatic. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hope that we'll see you again very, very soon. I'm not going to start building this just yet, but we're getting very close to being able to build that. I do need to take care of some sewage stuff here. This long pipe here is a very expensive project. They've been working on it for a while, but it's a very expensive project. Before I get to building all of this, I will be having my own brick being made from here. And this is actually missing coal right now, so we can actually do this now. We're just missing coal because this stuff, while it is going, it's not done yet. And when it is done, then we will be able to make coal. And I probably should get these things on the radar too then, huh? But once we have our own brick production and we have our own boards production, we can then shift to starting on these, because these things are very brick heavy. These are very brick heavy buildings. All of them are. It's costed me a lot to build the initial ones. I don't really want to spend that much to get these ones. Okay, so we'll have bricks over here. We'll have them sent over here, and then these guys will go ahead and build all of this stuff over here using much better roads. Yeah, much better roads. We're gonna have asphalt roads probably running through here too. And we got to keep going on asphalt roads as well. One last thing before I leave is I'm actually going to get that started too. We'll talk about asphalt next time as well. And we'll probably have a storage tank for the bitumen set up probably right around this area. I think that's the right distance. You know what? It would probably be a bitumen tank here, and then a pump here, and then another bitumen tank right over here. And then that, of course, we need our storage for all of our fuel. Hello, right this area right here. How are you? We're going to set up our fuel storage over here too. And then we have the trains, right, which is coming around here. Have the intersection, trains, picking up fuel, delivering it wherever it needs to go. And it comes back over here, and eventually it'll come through here. I just need to figure out where it's coming through here so that I don't get in the way of the scrap. We'll have it come through here, meet up with this track over here, and then it comes and does whatever it wants. Okay? So there you go. Now you have the summary. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.